trials rise and the path is long. You give us strength, you make us strong. You never change, you always stay, guiding your people in every way. You calm the storms, you break all chains. Your truth remains, your favor sustains. We walk in your ways, we trust your plan, rejoicing always in what you command. We give you praise, you are the eternal one. We lift your name, forever we sing. You are our Yahuah, our sovereign King. Your hand provides, your word is light, your judgment is just, your ways are right. Through it all and through every fight, you guide us onward, you lead our side. No power on earth can break your will. Your name is mighty, your truth fulfills. We trust your care, we trust your call, forever praising you, the sovereign of all. Every breath, every word we say belongs to you. Yahuah, we obey. All you do, your name we raise. All esteem and honor, all our praise. From sunrise bright to evening rest, your name is great, your word is best. Your ways are steadfast, your truth is sure. Your favor remains forever pure. Yahuah, we give you praise. You are the eternal one. We lift your name. Yahuah, forever we sing. You are our Yahuah, our sovereign King. You got the steps of all who seek. Your strength is perfect, your truth we keep. Through trials deep, through valleys wide, your hand is with us, our trusted guide. All esteem and honor belong to you, forever faithful, forever true. Yahuah, your name we revere, your reign is mighty, your presence here. Yahuah, we give you praise, you are the eternal one. We lift your name. Yahuah, forever we sing. You are our Yahuah, our sovereign King. We lift your name, your power and mercy are always the same. Yahuah, forever we sing.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Our sovereign King. Our sovereign King. Our sovereign King. Our sovereign King. Your love.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom to everybody. Shalom to everybody. How are you doing, family? How are you doing?
Your word is sure, your name is great, forever secure. Yahuah, we give you praise, you are the eternal one. We lift your name. Yahuah, forever we sing. You are our Yahuah, our sovereign King. Yahuah, we give you praise, you are the eternal one. We lift your name. Yahuah, forever we sing. You are our Yahuah, our sovereign King. When my strength is low and my hope feels dim, I trust in you, my light within you. Hold me up when I can't stand. I'm safe.
How are you doing, family? Hope everyone is doing
Yeah. Every moment you are here and draw me close, you keep me near. I will keep hope and trust it
Hope everyone is doing fine. Hope everyone is doing fine.
forever.
If you are doing fine, give all praise to the Most High Yahuah. Give all praise to Him. Give all praise to Him.
Yahuah, my shalom, my everything. Through the fire, through the rain, I will count it all joy.
You have to give all praise to Him. You have to give all adoration, all thanks to Him. Because He is your Father. He is my Father.
Feels cold.
Oh, He's the creator of the whole universe.
Reminds me what I've
You know, anytime I remember that He is the creator of the whole universe, I used to feel scared of something.
got in my own.
Someone that created the whole universe, to destroy it can't cost him anything.
Make wrong things come out.
So when we are telling people this life you are living, you are not the owner.
I'll trust your
I know a lot of people will say, what are you saying? What are you saying?
joy.
Oh, what are you saying, man? What are you saying that this life I'm not the owner? Well, I can do anything I like with it. Yes. I know you can do anything you like with it. But do you remember that doing what you like with it is not what Yahuah wants for you?
Endurance grow, that you may be complete and whole. So I'll trust you, Yahuah, through it all. For you will never let me fall. I will count it all joy when I'm tried and torn. Through your word, a new hope is born. No sorrow can steal my soul.
Have you ever asked yourself one day, what did my creator that created me, what did he want from me? Why am I created? Am I created to just this world, to do anything I like? Have you ever asked that type of question? Am I created just to do anything I love? No. Let me tell you something. No, you are created for a purpose, because of something.
To light, you make wrong.
And how can you live your life?
I will count it all joy. I will sing Yahuah, my shalom, my everything. Through the fire, through the rain, I will count it all joy. Yahuah reigns.
Be my strength when I am weak.
That is why we are here on the Righteousness Radio
My
today.
bones
We are here on the Righteousness Radio because of a purpose. We are because of a purpose. That is why we are
I
here.
need
And I want to let everyone to know that this is the right time you have to start sharing. And we are very sorry that we have gone for a while. We have gone for a while now, but we are back again.
Take and shadows bend, hold me close till the end. Tears have been my breath. I'm a stranger, I said. Your word I did need. I'm sitting alone in silence deep. Still I praise you, my being you keep. I've placed you before me, though others forsake me. A brand new start. Tonight, Yahuah, my love of you, God. It's true, I shall not be moved. Your Yahuah sufficient, your power made perfect in my pain. He who and
You have to start sharing. You have to start calling people.
I rise
You have to let everyone know that something is happening on the Righteousness
my
Radio.
all in all, Yahuah, you call, I will obey. Come what may, through trials and hurt, I will do what you say. I've seen a
You have to start calling people and let them to know that something is going on the Righteousness Radio right now. Something is going on and something is about to happen.
addiction. Your Torah will be my addiction. I will not let go. Though the times are long, your word is my song. In you I am stronger than any precious blood. Yahuah still delivers the righteous to every crisis. No adverse devices will come against me. Oh yes, I am free. Though trials may burn, but still I will yearn. When I am uncertain, to Torah I'll turn. Though I walk alone, where few will go, by your strength I will not let go. I will not let go. I will not let go.
Do you remember that there is nothing that you are worthy for without doing the will of your Creator Yahuah? You are not worthy for anything. The only thing that can make you worthy is by doing the will of your Creator Yahuah, of your Father. If you are not doing it, you are wasting your time. Because let me tell you something, if you go to the scriptures, you are going to know all these things will end. Everything will end one day. And what is the useful of what you are going to leave alone one day? Why are you fighting? Why are you fighting over him? What you're supposed to fight for, that is the kingdom of your Father, but you are not fighting for it, you are fighting for something else. Why? Why can't you take that your time to fight for what is right, to fight for the kingdom of the Most High Yahuah, that is your Father? Why don't you fight for that? Why are you fighting for what is not necessary? Yes, because what you are fighting for is not necessary. Why are you fighting for that? Why are you fighting for that? Please, you have to start sharing.
Hear my cry, oh Yahuah.
Let me tell you something. This is the right time for you to start sharing and to start calling people. Because today's message is brought for today's message is different. We brought this message for you because you have to learn something. You have to learn something. You have to learn something. That is why we are sharing today's message with us.
My soul is weary, my strength is faint. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me, Abba, to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my shelter, strong tower from the enemy when storms came.
What are you doing? Have you started sharing? Have you started sharing? Have you started calling people? Have you started calling people? Because today's message, you have to call someone. You have to let everyone to know that something is about to happen again. When I say something is about to happen on the righteousness radio, I know a lot of people will say, what is that? What is that? Oh, no, you don't need to ask what is that. You have to sit tight to listen to what is about to happen. Because I want you to know that what on the righteousness radio here, we share something special. And the message we brought to you today is from our brother from TruthUnedited.
Yeah.
And it's a very special message. It's a very special message that everyone have to listen to. A lot of people are missing something. They can take their time to watch all their social media to listen to anything worldly news. Oh no! Oh, what is going on? This is going on. This is going on. This and this. To listen to news, to waste their time on watching the worldly thing, but can't take 2 minutes to listen to the word of Yahuah.
Your word lights the path
Why are we like that?
to the narrow
Me and you, why are we that way? No. Why are we that way?
way.
Spending 1 hour, 2 hours listening to the word of your Creator Yahuah is not
Your
much.
path is the good way that leads to your reign.
It's not much. Spending that type of hour listening is not much.
Well,
And that is why, if you just think of, what is this? I'll later. Everything is not later. You don't know maybe what you want to listen to today is right now is the one that will help you in next hour.
Day by day.
Have you start sharing? Have you start calling people? Have you start calling people?
so that we
Have you start calling people?
may live. We seek you, Yahuah, your word and your ways. Give us strength to endure all of our days. No one else can guide, no other hand can save. Only Yahuah's path leads beyond the grave. A road sealed in truth that only He can pave. Let His will be done, His word none can erase. He shows the meek favor, a gift from above. The path He commands is planted in love. We follow His calling for the purpose He made. Eternal rewards await those He forgave. Oh Yahuah, guide us where the good way is, your ancient path, so that we may live. We seek Yahuah, your word and your way. Give us strength to endure all of our days. The kingdom of Yahuah.
Today's topic we are sharing with you is waking up to the truth how the world was created.
Those who trust in
Waking up to the truth how the world was created.
are
And
kept
that is a message that everybody have to know. How
His
the
to
world
rise life
how the world was created, waking up to the truth.
leads to shalom.
Because this is the right time for us to start. This is the time we start waking people up. This is the time we start waking people up.
And soon. Oh Yahuah, guide us where
Please, have you start sharing? Have you start calling people? I don't want to waste our time. We have to go to today's program. We have to go straight to today's program.
Yahuah,
Please start sharing.
give us strength to endure all of our days. Yahuah, you call us to stand firm and sure. Those who trust in His ways are kept secure. His Torah is life,
Part 2 of this series,
a path that leads to
the mental system of control that we were born into that has tried to keep us all asleep and attached to lies and falsehoods. This was all created in order to steer the masses to the worship of Satan. It has been gradual and on purpose. They have been controlling what we think and know and have attached us to a false version of this world where up is down, dark is light, and evil is good. It's a complete inversion of the truth that makes people feel like they are truly moving towards our Father while they're actually being directed and taught about Satan. That was all important to understand in order to recognize where this world is headed and how humanity as a whole has been guided there. This information can be hard to accept if you aren't willing to humble yourself and recognize that it's a high probability that you have been living in lies, and by consequence, your life has been steered by them. You must have humility. But overall, dealing with parts 1 and 2, that is a glimpse of the overall problem. But here's the thing. Depending on where you are at in your walk, it's hard to know exactly where your understanding of the truth has been detoured and been led to their agenda. So as I said in part 1, I am making a comprehensive series that walks the truth down so that anyone that desires to wake up can understand this world and see where the error promoted to them by Satan has detoured them. And so in order to make this work, we must go back to the beginning and understand the truth, bit by bit, piece by piece. And as we discuss it, you'll be able to see where your confusion starts from and where you may have been detoured from the truth. The first thing to understand is that this world that we know and understand, it was not created by us. It was created by our Father. So you need to understand his side of the story and understand him, because he is the only one that matters. So what we need to do is go back to the beginning and understand what our Father created and what disconnected humanity from him. We must discuss being born in sin. Let's begin. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. The darkness was on the face of the deep, and the spirit of Elohim was hovering over the face of the waters. Then Elohim said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Then Elohim said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Thus Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. Then Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the third day. Then Elohim said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let there be for signs and seasons and for days and years, and let there be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth." And it was so. Then Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Elohim set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Then Elohim said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So Elohim created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Then Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. And Elohim made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. Then Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim he created him. Male and female he created them. Then Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." And Elohim said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. And to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food." And it was so. Then Elohim saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 31. This is the story of the creation of the heavens and the earth. Abba, our Father, our Creator, Yahuah, he created all things. He created the heavens and the earth. With a mere word, he spoke the entire world into existence. When he finished, he called every part of his creation very good. He prepared it for us to take care of all our needs. This right here is the beginning of history. When reading this, it's important that we don't add to this history. You'll see that that is something that is done today in order to account for modern science. For example, people will use this and then add that Elohim created the universe. But that's not what scripture says. There is nothing in the scripture that even speaks of the universe. Keep that in mind. Some people will say that the firmament is outer space, but that's not what the scripture says. Do the pictures of outer space show water? The firmament was to separate the waters, and most people don't even recognize that there is a firmament. My point is that we should not add to scripture just because we want to account for science today. Just take the scripture for what it says. If you do that, most of the confusion that most people have today would be gone. Now notice in this creation story, there's also nothing about the Big Bang and Earth creating itself. How they want to talk about the God particle that started creation. None of that nonsense is a part of this. Our Father created all things, and he explained how he did this. And if you loved him, you would attach to his testimony an account. Another example is what people do with verses 26 and 27 of chapter 1. Those verses says, "Then Elohim said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And these verses right here, these are highly contested because it shows that Yahuah, he was not alone. And what man likes to do is add in their own perspectives. The main one being that because he made man and woman in his image, he must be both man and woman. That's what many like to claim. But that is not in line with the totality of scripture. That is not confirmed anywhere in scripture, actually. People are just placing limits on our creator that he had to be female in order to make female. He is our creator, omnipotent, all-powerful, but they feel he had to be limited in this capacity. Again, this is adding to scripture to account for what we want to believe. Now, the second part about this is dealing with it when it says us. The question is, who is us? As we read our Bibles, scripture tells us who us was. And so as we read more in scripture, we see that during creation, YaHuSHA was there. John chapter 17, verse 5, YaHuSHA says, "And now, O Father, glorify me together with yourself, with the glory which I had with you before the world was." YaHuSHA was also there before the world was. The us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 is Yahuah and YaHuSHA. YaHuSHA testifies of this many times. Now, in reviewing this, let me also ask you a question. When you read this, do you see anything here about dinosaurs? Did you see him tell you that he made these large reptiles, then decided to send a meteor down to destroy the earth and then kill them? No, you did not hear any of those things. Dinosaurs are not real. You have to understand that dinosaurs in that story is just another attack on Yahuah and his story of creation. Those with money, power, and wealth made their own narrative of the beginning of this world, and its whole purpose is to challenge Yahuah's story. There were alternate versions of the creation story created in order to deter you from believing that Yahuah is an authority. The simple explanation about dinosaurs and these bones are that they are lying. Now, there are other conspiracies about reptiles and reptilians, but we don't need to go there right now. The simplest way of handling this subject is to reject it completely. I do not let my children believe in dinosaurs. Any mention of it, we reject it completely. When you see dinosaurs, recognize that it's just challenging our Father and his story of creation. It is not harmless. You have to decide who you're going to follow and believe. If you choose to allow dinosaurs into your scope, you have chosen to believe the enemy and his version of creation. And this means that you reject our Father from the foundation, and therefore you will never understand what he is going to do in this future. Believing in dinosaurs are not inconsequential. You are looking at a direct attack against our faith, It is attacking our father Yahuah. You have to understand, they don't say that they're doing this when they speak about these dinosaurs. And they definitely don't say that they are just challenging the scriptures. But please understand, this is the whole reason for dinosaurs. And so you have to make the decision for yourself who you follow and believe, because you have to see that these are two entirely different stories and they do not gel. This can be a major stumbling block for you and especially for your children. So the best thing to do is to get rid of it all. Every piece of paraphernalia, even if it's just on one of their shirts or on their pajamas, they love putting that stuff on their clothing. I want you to understand and look at it like this. Every time you have a dinosaur or something about it, even if it's just cute and cuddly, you are holding onto a piece of rebellion against Yahuah, and your possession of it represents your support of it. It is not a small thing. Choose whose creation you're going to believe in. Don't ask and say, well, what about the bones? Understand that Satan lies, period. He lies. You don't need to know all about his method of lies. You need to decide who you're going to believe. People say all day long that they have faith and they have trust in him, but any kind of side story that the devil creates, they'll believe it and still say that they believe in our Father. You have to truly choose who you're going to believe, and you need to stand on it. And so if you believe our Father and his word, you don't allow those other influences in your mind or in your home. You don't allow them to come in and challenge his authority. I want you to understand, if your child went to school, you best believe that they taught them about dinosaurs and not about Yah's story of creation. Even Christian schools do some variation of this truth. You need to reject it completely and not allow that influence. If they go to school and they hear about these things, tell your children that it is a lie. Dinosaurs are not real. Make sure they understand it. And if you have older children, maybe even adult children, ask them if they believe in dinosaurs. By having this discussion, you may be able to determine an area where they might have detoured from the truth. You may not be able to attack that foundation in an older person's mind about dinosaurs, because other things are going to have to be dealt with first. And then you can bring it back to the dinosaurs if they understand and they say that they truly believe in our Father Yahuah. So if your older child says that they believe in dinosaurs, don't instantly attack it, but recognize that this may be a problem of why they reject our Father. The bottom line is that you read Genesis chapter 1, and he has told you how he created the earth. So if you actually believe in him, you trust his story and you trust what he has said, and you do not allow anybody else to add anything to it to bring some other story in, because now you're challenging him. Believe what he has said. So remember, as we are going through this, we are dealing with the truth and recognizing where we possibly have detoured from this. And this discussion, especially with dinosaurs, is a big part of this. Let's keep reading. Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which Elohim had created and made. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahuah Elohim made the earth and the heavens, before any plant of the field was in the earth, and before any herb of the field had grown. For Yahuah Elohim had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground, but a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. Yahuah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and therefore he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Yahuah Elohim made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted and became 4 riverheads. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one which skirts the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. But bdellium and onyx stones are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one which goes around the whole land of Cush. The name of the third is Hiddekel. It is the one which goes towards the east of Assyria. The fourth river is Euphrates. Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 15. Now, let me just stop real quick. One thing that I want to make sure is highlighted is what is said in the beginning of chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which Elohim had created and made. Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. This is an extremely important point to understand. After 6 days of creation, our Father rested on the seventh day. He blessed this day and he sanctified it. Yahuah was the first to keep the Sabbath. He was the first to rest on the Sabbath day. The idea of the Sabbath rest comes from his example. And so later when we go to his commandments, please understand this was the beginning of it. He wanted his people to be like him. He made man in his image, and he desired his creation to be like him. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. It's just important to note that Yahuah kept the Sabbath. I also want to add that many people ask me why I keep the Sabbath from evening to evening. Please, when you read the story of creation, understand how Yah created this world. Each day started from the evening. That was how the world was created. It started with night first. The scripture says evening and morning was the day. This is what I follow, and I don't know a simpler way of explaining it. I hope this brings clarity to those who are looking for it. Let's continue. Then Yahuah Elohim took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it. And Yahuah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. And Yahuah Elohim said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Out of the ground, Yahuah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. So Adam gave names to all cattle, to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helper comparable to him. And Yahuah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which Yahuah Elohim had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Genesis chapter 2, verses 15 through 25. All right. So chapter 2 presents a more personal picture of creation. It focuses on the creation of man and woman. Our Father shaped Adam from the dust of the earth and breathed life into him, and he formed the woman, Eve, from Adam's flesh and bone, his rib. Our Father planted them in perfection. They are able to enjoy everything except one tree in the garden. Yahuah commanded Adam not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, we don't know much about this tree. It's often depicted as an apple tree, but this is not to say that that's accurate. We don't know much except that our Father commanded Adam to not eat from it. So there was a tree that had knowledge of good and evil, but our Father did not require that men knew this in order to dwell amongst them. He personally would provide that wisdom. And so he told them not to eat from it. Now, people like to often ask, why did he put the tree in the garden in the first place? And that is the thing about our Father that you need to understand now. He is not here to force you to love him or obey him. He is not forcing anyone to just do what he says. He created this earth and he created man. But it's each of our decision to determine whether we are going to live for him and obey him. He is not forcing us to. And as you go, you must understand this. Your future all depends on how much you love our Creator and desire him and obey him. Now, not to jump ahead of all this, but for me personally, I grew up in the Christian church, and I always thought that I loved Yah. I just sinned a little bit, but I did believe in Jesus. For me, it wasn't until I saw that people that I was following actually worship Satan that I recognized that I was really filthy. And so it drew me to the word, and after I read the scriptures, I realized I never actually knew our Father. I knew religion, but the God that was presented to me in church was very different to the one that I was reading about. And so I decided to trust what I was reading more than what these people were saying in church. Because to me, if I was so blind to be rapping lyrics from devil worshipers, there's no telling what I was blindly following in the church. And so I made the decision to know our Father for myself. And right now, you're just a part of that overall experience. I say all that to say that you have to make a choice about who you are going to serve and align to, Regardless of what you've been taught or what your family says or anything like that, you have to make the decision on who you're going to serve. You have to make the decision if you are going to obey our Father. And as we continue in this, you're going to see why we all have an issue. Let's keep reading. Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which Yahuah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, Has Elohim indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die. For Elohim knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of the fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. And they heard the sound of Yahuah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuah Elohim among the trees of the garden. Then Yahuah Elohim called to Adam and said to him, Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? Then the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And Yahuah Elohim said to the woman, What is this that you have done? The woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. So Yahuah Elohim said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. To the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Then to Adam he said, Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake, in toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Also for Adam and his wife, Yahuah Elohim made tunics of skin and clothed them. Then Yahuah Elohim said, Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Therefore Yahuah Elohim sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the garden, and a flaming sword which turned every way, to guard the way to the tree of life. Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 24. And you see, this was the beginning of us. This is all very important for anyone living in this world to understand. Most people have all heard that we were born into sin. But do we really understand what that truly means, being born into sin? The account of Adam and Eve is the foundation for the rest of the scriptures. The highest priority in our lives is having intimacy with Yahuah, having a relationship with him. In Ephesians chapter 1, verses 4 through 6, the Apostle Paul says that he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestined us to adoption as sons by YaHuSHA the Messiah to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, by which he made us accepted in the beloved. What that is saying is that from the beginning of the world, Yahuah loved you and wanted to have a close personal relationship with you that would bring great joy, fulfillment, and power to your life. He wants a personal relationship with us, and that's what he did in the garden with Adam. So like we spoke about earlier, Yahuah created us in his likeness, in his image. This is not just a physical thing, but also just the way that we are. We were created good in that we should be like him. He created us in his image for us to have a deep, intimate relationship with him. He created the world with everything that we would ever need so that we could know and love him. What that means is that neither ability, beauty, intelligence, money, or anything else will ever define our life as successful in Yahuah's eyes. It all comes down to how strong our relationship with him actually is. Our relationship with him is the priority. So in the garden, both Adam and Eve, they had no worries or cares. They did not have to work for their food. They didn't have to farm or plant. They were allowed to be free and be intimate with our Creator as long as they obeyed him and did not eat from the tree spoken against. Eve was the first to be deceived by the serpent, and then Eve brought that deception to Adam. And Adam listened to his wife instead of listening to Yahuah. And so what happens is that after this, Yahuah finds Adam, and now Adam is ashamed and is hiding. Then Yahuah punishes Adam. In verses 17 and 19, he punishes Adam. He says that for now on, Adam will have to work for his food, and he will surely die. Adam tried to blame Eve, but it didn't matter. In the relationship with Adam, it changed. And Yah says, in the sweat of your faith, you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And because of this, death has now come to mankind. We don't know the full possibilities of what could have been if Adam had have just smacked that apple out of Eve's hands and been obedient. But we now know the consequence. As Yahuah warned Adam that he would surely die, this now is the reality for Adam, and it has passed on to us ever since. Because of Adam, we are all born in sin. Mankind has suffered two consequences in regards to death. We now are able to become physically dead, and when we come in this world, we are born spiritually dead. Now, in regards to the physical death, this should be easy to understand. When our Father made the garden, he made the tree of life. He never explained the tree, but before he put them out of the garden, he explained what our goal would be later. In verse 22 of chapter 3, Yahuah said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever." So I don't want to jump ahead, but right now we're in the beginning of the book. And if you jump directly at the end of the book in Revelation chapter 22, verse 2, it is said, "In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. So when he restores the earth and brings his new earth and new Jerusalem, the tree of life will be there, and we will be able to eat it and live forever. Because of Adam, mankind no longer has access to this tree, and therefore we are able to die. And so, by consequence, this is what the physical death is about. But there's also a spiritual death. You see, because of Adam's sin, man was no longer personally connected to Yahuah, our Creator. As created beings, when he first created us, we started living in communion with him. We knew him intimately. Adam had direct access to him. But when he sinned, he received a penalty of death. But it was not only a physical death, it was also a spiritual death in which man was no longer in communion with him. Mankind was no longer walking in a personal relationship with Yahuah. We did not have direct access to him. We lost our personal connection to him, and we are now all personally disconnected from Yahuah. And thus, from this point, all of creation was now disconnected from our Father from this point on. Now listen, our Father, he's awesome, because as he was giving out his judgments, he also knew of his plan that he would correct these two problems of the physical and spiritual death. And so that's why in chapter 3, you see the first prophecy in the scriptures. Now, before I get there, let me deal with one thing first, because this is the first time you see the enemy in the scriptures. The serpent came and promoted rebellion against Yahuah. I want you to recognize the voice of the serpent because he still talks like this today. Our Father clearly commanded Adam. He said, "And Yahuah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die." Genesis chapter 2, verses 16 and 17. It's a clear command. But did he explain why? Did he give reasoning? He told Adam what he could do and what he couldn't do. But what did the serpent do? And the woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You shall not surely die. For Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. That's Genesis chapter 3, verses 2 through 5. You know what that's called? It's called rebellion. Eve knew the command. She repeated it back to him. But the serpent told her, Nah, that's not true. The reason why he doesn't want you to do this is because of this reason right here. And so what he did was he promoted rebellion to her. And this is what the main conflict of life is today. And you see this from this point going forward. Everything that our Father has said, it's clear. The problem comes from Satan speaking nonsense to us and making us do things our Father does not agree with and that our Father spoke directly against. And the simple reason that we do what the devil is promoting to us is because we try to rationalize what our Father has said instead of just doing what our Father has said. If any of you have children, you'll know your children like the same way. Like my children are like that. Instead of listening to my advice and listening to when I tell them to not do something because they don't clearly understand why I said something and they think they know better than me, they go ahead and not listen. And what do you think happens? Yeah, problems. They listen to the wrong things and they think that they can understand my way of thinking when we understand things completely different. And that's just little old me. Our Father is all powerful and he knows best. But we have been trained to understand things from the serpent's point of view. We need to know every little thing. And therefore, we don't listen to our Father and we think that we can rationalize him, and it leads us into rebellion. And this event right here was the first example. You must understand that this is Satan's goal. His goal is to corrupt Yahuah's creation, to take away our union with Yahuah and bring us under his rebellious rule. He started this at the beginning of creation. That's what you're looking at right here. He won in the garden, and he has been working the same goal ever since. What Satan desires is to imprint himself onto every human being so that they are more like him than they are the way that Yahuah desires us to be. And you see, if he imprints himself to every human, we can then be rebellious and continue to reject our Father. A good example or metaphor of this is, again, the agent in the Matrix movies. At the end of that series, the agent's goal was to spread himself throughout the Matrix, to imprint his code into every person in the Matrix. And by the end of the movie, everyone in the Matrix was just like him. This is Satan's goal. And by speaking like the serpent did, he was able to entice Eve to rebel against Yahuah, and Eve brought the rebellion to Adam, and Adam took part in it. So now Satan, through many different forms that always goes back to our thoughts, he teaches us to rebel against our Father, and what we must do is learn to recognize those thoughts and rebuke them. The same exact way YaHuSHA did when he came against Satan. Again, just jumping ahead, our Messiah came against these same challenges from Satan. How did Satan attack him? Did he come and physically try to come at him? No, he came at him through word and suggestion. And if you understand just one thing from right now, understand that this is what Satan does to us day and night. And the more you learn to reject Satan's voice when you hear it, the more power you will have and the more you will be able to stay in obedience to our Father. Now, here's an interesting thing to note. In the book of Enoch, we do learn more about who the serpent was. Enoch chapter 69 discusses the rebellious angels, which is among many of the reasons why they kept these books out of the mainstream Bibles. But that is a discussion for another episode. Verse 3 of chapter 69 says, These are the chiefs of their angels, and the names of their leaders of the hundreds, and the leaders of their 50s, and the leaders of their tens. Enoch chapter 69, verse 3. Then verses 6 through 8 says, The name of the third is Gadriel. He discovered every stroke of death to the children of men. He seduced Eve, and discovered to the children of men the instruments of death, the coat of mail, the shield, and the sword for slaughter, every instrument of death to the children of men. From his hand were derived to them who dwell upon the earth, from that period forever. Enoch chapter 69, verses 6 through 8. You see, this is the fallen angel who introduced forbidden knowledge to humanity. The book of Enoch discusses the other fallen angels as well, and what they introduced to humanity as well. I am pointing out to you that many questions about how wicked things have become is all in the Apocrypha, and it's a main reason why the Christian church did not put these books in our Bibles, although the Hebrews who wrote the scriptures of our Bibles, they reference these books. So you know the name of the serpent who seduced Eve, and we know he was a fallen angel. And you also know that this was all part of the satanic rebellion against Yahuah. Many people say that the English word God is influenced from this fallen angel, Gadriel. I cannot confirm or deny it. I do believe it, but in the end, it doesn't matter because our Father has a name, and you should use it if you love him. But I will get to that later. Let me sum this all up. As I've been saying since the beginning of this series, this is the main conflict that you see in the world. Satan creating and promoting a culture that is in complete rebellion to the ways of the Most High. Satan wants to be like the Most High, and so he will talk to you in ways that promote rebellion, but it doesn't always sound like that. It may sound like rational thought, or maybe just telling you that you're overthinking or you're not thinking enough, or you're just gonna miss out. He comes at you many different ways. Now, as I was saying earlier, our Father is awesome, because as he was giving out his judgments, he knew of his plan that he will correct the two problems of a physical and spiritual death. And so we see the first prophecy of the scriptures in Genesis 3. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And you see, this was a prophecy against Satan dealing with mankind. Yah prophesies that he will put enmity between Satan and Eve. Enmity is the state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Satan and Eve are now in opposition and hostile with each other. And he adds that this hostility is between Satan's seed and Eve's seed. And he explains what will happen with this conflict. But let's just understand the main point that many miss. He has placed enmity between Satan's seed and Eve's seed. Now, when we talk about Eve's seed, the fulfillment of this is YaHuSHA, the Messiah. But what is not spoken of or understood is that Satan also has a seed. And it is this seed that is actively hostile against YaHuSHA. Satan is actively opposed against humanity, and his seed is actively against the Messiah. And in the end, Satan's seed will bruise just Messiah's heel, and Messiah will bruise the serpent's head, which is the whole strength of the serpent. In your understanding of the Bible, this prophecy must be at the forefront. Satan is opposed to humanity, and through his seed, he will oppose mankind and mankind's solution, who is our Messiah, YaHuSHA. So if you keep this understanding, you understand that there's a seed of Satan coming forth that is actively working against humanity. And if we just fast forward in time, you may understand that this is what is actively being worked on in this world. There are satanic bloodlines that have been kept potent in order for Satan's seed to come against humanity. And so this is what we're working towards to understand how this is all fulfilled. But this is just the beginning to everything. And so it's important that the foundation is understood. We're going to stop here and move on to the next part of the history and discuss when Yah judged mankind.
Be my strength when I am weak. My being is torn, my bones are meek. Oh Yahuah, I need you. I need you. For they that wait upon Yahuah shall renew their strength when all forsake and shadows bend. Hold me close till the end. Tears have been my breath. I'm a stranger, I said. Your word I did need. I'm sitting alone in silence deep. Still I praise you, my being.
I used to say something to everybody. That most thing you are looking at that looks like you is not you.
A brand new start.
It's just a lie that these people have come together, put together, and give it to us like what? Like this is what Yahuah gives to us. To an extent that if you are not careful, you are going to fall for it. And you are going to believe that what everything that you are seeing, that they are showing you is the real thing that Yahuah wants you to do. That is why I'm telling telling you, are you what you are? What the way you critical situation that we can be at this point is what doing what is wrong at this point. After we have been shouting, we have been doing everything, doing what is not right again, and you know this is not right. Doing it is a very critical situation. It's very bad, it's very bad. But let me tell you something. This is the time that we have to wake up. If someone tells you that you can do, you will just try to do what you can do. We can't force it. We can't do everything. It's not easy for us to do everything. Take it out of your mouth. You must force yourself to work and to open your eye to know the truth.
The righteous through every crisis. No adverse devices will come against me. Oh yes, I am free. Though trials may burn, but still I will yearn. When I am uncertain, to Torah I'll turn. Though I walk a road where few will go, and I trust in Yahuah, I won't let go. I won't let go.
Hear my cry, oh Yahuah. Listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth I call to you. My soul is weary, my strength is faint. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me, Abba, to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my shelter, a strong tower from the enemy. When storms came, you were my peace. When I had no words left, you were my song. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shadow of your wings. Oh, how I long to be close to you, to stay in your presence all the days of my life. For you have heard my vows. You've given me.
Let me tell you something. It's right time for us to open our eyes. Don't ever make mistake of thinking of, I can just try my best. Don't try your best. You have to obey. You have to do it. I will just do what I can do. Don't make that statement of trying. We know it's not easy. Everybody knows it's not easy. To follow Yahuah, to follow YaHuSHA is not easy. But what Ashitan have put in this world, they have changed everything. They have removed what belongs to Yahuah and replaced it with their own. And what you are going to think is that it's still normal thing. It's still normal thing. It's just a slightly mistake and slightly change. There's nothing like slightly changes. They have changed it. They have touched it, corrupt it, and changed it. And how can you know that if you don't open your eye and take your time to know what is going on? We are back again on the Righteousness Radio. I'm telling you. Why will you listen to the Righteousness Radio alone, not sharing with people? Yes, you can join us on our YouTube channel as well. Yahuah is the Righteousness TV. Yahuah is the Righteousness TV on our YouTube channel. And on our website, YaHuSHA.com. And you can go to any app and any of your search bar, maybe your Google, your AI or anything. Go there and search for YaHuSHA.com. Yes, there your AI will tell you what to do on the YaHuSHA.com. On our website, what our website is meant for, our goal, our priority, what is it? Yes, you are going to know it. Please go and join us right now. We are saying shalom to everybody because we are going for today's program. But how we be live back again? I'm going to be live back again on our TikTok channel. That is on the Righteousness TV. The Righteousness TV. In 3 hours time, we are going to be live. I'm going to be live on our TikTok channel. Yes, I'm going to be live on TikTok channel with a special teaching. Affliction. Please, I want you to join us there. Please, family.
So we're going to dance for the Most High. Say ragadu, 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 ragadu. Chirulu Yahuah, Chirulu Yahuah, Chirulu Yahuah. Yeah. Ragadu,